You know that the US once tried to patent turmeric or haldi. Hi, I am Charu. At times I make content that might require long attention span. Except that is not exactly what happened. And the real story is more interesting than the version you might have heard otherwise. In 1993, two researchers at the University of Mississippi Medical Center filed a US patent application titled Use of Turmeric in Wound Healing. And it was granted in 1995. But they didn't patent turmeric itself, they patented a method using turmeric powder to heal wounds either orally, topically, or both. And of course, if you grew up in India, that sounds ridiculous because putting haldi on a wound wasn't exactly a new discovery. How did it get patented? That's the problem. Patent officers assess whether an invention is a new and non obvious against prior art, meaning knowledge and evidence that already exist. In 1995, a huge amount of India's traditional medical knowledge wasn't sitting in searchable English language databases. It existed in Sanskrit texts, in regional languages, in ancient medical systems, and in knowledge passed down through generations. Knowledge existed, the patent system just couldn't see it otherwise. Of course, India challenged it. In October 1996, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research asked the US Patent Office to re examine the patent and submitted 32 prior art documents, ancient Sanskrit texts, and a 1953 Journal of the Indian Medical Association. The patent holders argued their claim was different because it involved turmeric powder, while the prior art described turmeric paste. The patent office rejected that distinction, and in March 1997, all six claims were rejected. The patentees came back with a narrower claim limited to surgical wounds that were not healing, and the office called that was too vague and broad and said using turmeric to heal surgical wounds was an age old practice. Patent was revoked later that year. The most important part of the story came afterwards. I realized that traditional knowledge could remain legally invisible unless it was documented and made searchable. In 2001, India began building the Traditional Knowledge Digital Library, a collaboration between CSIR and what is now the Ministry of Ayush. It translates and systematically documents knowledge from Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and Yoga, making it searchable for patent examiners. Because the lesson wasn't simply that someone tried to patent haldi, but that ancient knowledge can look like a new invention when the system examining it cannot find the evidence. So, India built a database to make sure it could.